Hey, this is Adam Henderson. Welcome to my Scrabble YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be featuring another game from the uh, Portland Labor Day tournament that was in Labor Day. What day is Labor Day? Is it August or September? Okay, it's September. Anyway, I thought it was August. So I guess Labor Day is in September. Anyway, I'm playing Carl Johnson. I can see his rating is currently 2038. He's one of the best players in the country. He still plays NWL. So whenever I go against him, frankly I don't expect to win. I have won a game against him recently, but those are going to be rare. My rating's been slipping. My conclusion is that maybe I was a little bit overrated when it got over 1750, and now that I'm kind of returned back to 1700, and I might even dip below that. We'll see. That's more of the level that's probably more where my strength is. So try to be humble. I do spend a lot of time studying and a lot of time playing Scrabble, and I try to take the game seriously. Um, uh, uh, I guess the only caveat to that is that some people take the game too seriously and they become nasty. I won't say any names. There was one guy that used to swear, and he had issues, but uh, he would swear, and he really, I think he really loved Scrabble, but at the same time he couldn't handle. He thought he was a lot better than he actually was, and he couldn't handle being humble. Is the way I would put it. I don't know if I should say his name, since but anyway, uh, uh, I think it's not just him that can end up feeling that way. People in Scrabble can end up feeling like a lot of their self-worth is tied up into how strong of a Scrabble player they are, and I get it. I have that too. The reason I feel like I have some of that is because I'm high functioning autistic, and like so many things in this life are just so difficult, and like Scrabble's like the one thing that I feel like I'm good at. um, I mean, I'm good at other things, but it's the one thing that I'm good at that I'm really proud of is that, and I just love the game, uh, and I'm sure some of you out there can empathize with that. But anyway, I don't want to spend too much time. We're at 3:30. Uh, let's take a look at the game. And again, this is against Carl Johnson. I actually go first in this game. If you've never played Carl Johnson before, it can be intimidating to play him or anybody that's rated 2000, because they're just so strong, and you know they're strong, and you kind of have to adjust the way you play against somebody at that level a little bit. Um, and you might be thinking, okay, adjust how I play, adjust how. Well, in some ways, you don't have to adjust too much. For the most part, you want to make the same type of moves. But the main way you want to adjust is you want to try to make sure you don't play phonies. You can usually get away with just playing fast and loose, and if you make a mistake, if the phony does come off, sometimes you can still win the game. Uh, and a lot of times, if you're playing, players that are like 1500 or less, that you're just going to get away with whatever phony it was, because those people rated 1500 or less, they know that they don't know all the words, and they're going to be humble about it, and they're going to consider the fact that, okay, maybe you played a word that I don't know. That's going to happen much less often with somebody like Carl Johnson, who, um, is over 2,000. He doesn't know all the words, but he's going to be much more confident in his word knowledge, and yeah. Oh, it says school Scrabble. Let's change that. How do I change this? Delete. I accidentally hit school Scrabble. And so this was a WePo game, so the words that they play with allow the slurs. So just keep that in mind, even though it says I'm playing on NWL, which does not allow the slurs. WePo's dictionary does allow the slurs. I've said this in my previous video. I think it's worth saying again. I used to be in favor of keeping like all the words, including the slurs, because I feel like, we're all adults. We should be able to handle a word. But like the more Kenji Matsumoto, when this controversy was happening, pointed out that, if we want the game to thrive on television, we need to, take out the slurs. And I've kind of come around to that point of view. So this is my opening rack. I played gluten. Let's see if there's any. I don't think there's any. There's no bingos here. I'm just gonna put a blank with it just to see how many 8s there are. Just Jelutong is the only 8. So not very close to hitting anything. I played long here. You only want to play short if, because playing short, even just like 2 or 3 letters, you really don't want to play short like only 2 letters on the opening play, but playing like just 3 letters should only be done on the opening play if you're leaving a outstandingly strong leave, and there's just no way to play 3 letters that is gonna, I think, like, probably the best 4-tile leave is tone on this rack. And let's see how strong that is. It's not going to be too strong, because any leave that's going to have an O in it is not really that strong. So it's 3.2. That's not strong. If it was an I, that would probably be strong enough. Yeah. So tine is going to be a lot more stronger than tone. The O is, a lot of people that are not experts don't realize kind of how weak the O tile is, because the O can make a lot of otherwise really good racks into a rack that doesn't have any bingos in it. So I played gluten here. I think that's probably fine. Yeah, gluon's probably better. What does gluten leave? Oh, it leaves the O. Yeah, so O is not that great of a leave. If I could just keep the E instead, it's like almost negative 2.5. E is going to be a lot better. It's going to be close to 0. But yeah, I don't know if there was a way to just leave the E. So glout and gluon. So Glout leaves En. Just want to see how strong these leaves are. So En's pretty strong, 2.6. And ET is probably even, no, that's a little bit weaker. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that En's better than ET. So En is better than ET by 0.7. Anyway, yeah, gluten was cute. I guess when I played this, I didn't realize how weak the O was. Sometimes I do like the O a little bit, but as I said, it's probably I've come to realize most recently that the O is not really that great of a tile, and it's not as great of a leave as you might think. So this I would say is a moderate mistake because I shouldn't have left the O on my rack. And he plays Yuts. And I have this rack. Did I play Kazoo? No. Kazoo would have been great. I should have played Kazoo. Koto would have been fine too. What did I play? I played Gook. So the idea behind this play is that I have an S and I can hook it later. So not a terrible idea. I'm not going to spend too much time on that move. He plays O. So he's on to me. He knows that I wouldn't play that without the S, so he plays O. And oh, I phonied here. Okay, so this is why I lost the game. So yeah, the reason I phonied here is because I was just so nervous from playing Carl Johnson. A lot of the nerves are gonna be based on how confident you are as a player. I'd like to think I'm getting better with my nerves, but I guess the more I play Carl Johnson, the less nervous I get playing him, which is good. But at this point, I was just still way too nervous playing this guy. So I did have oronasal. That would have been fun. I'm pretty sure I know that word. I've seen it at least. Let's take a look here. So I'm just, yeah, it's actually pretty high up, the words I've seen. But oronasal is kind of a weird one. Just curious what that means. A sound pronounced using both the mouth and the nose. Okay, that makes sense. I crossed it out several times, so I have to kind of look closely at what I actually did here. Oh, I played anosias. Okay, so anosia isn't a word. So I played anosias and it got challenged off. So I've already lost the game. You can't really lose a challenge this early in the game against a 2000 rated player, but we'll go ahead and analyze the rest of this game. And this mistake really, the reason I made the mistake of playing anosias instead of playing anosmia on the first time, I played anosmia in the second try, was more of I was so nervous that I just wanted to get the play done with. If you ever feel that you're playing a really strong player and you're feeling so nervous that you just want, if you recognize that you have that feeling, it's a sign that you're about to make a terrible mistake. So if you find yourself having that feeling, of just wanting to get the play over with. I mean, it depends on how much time you have on your clock, but you know, at this point, it was still close to the end of the game or beginning of the game. It's worth spending a little bit of extra time. Um, if you need to, just spend some extra time just to calm yourself down psychologically. Just maybe spend a few seconds to calm yourself down psychologically and say, okay, I can do this, or whatever it takes for you to calm down. And then after that, get to work on focusing on making your bingo play. That would be my advice. So he plays EX. Then I played Anosmia. You can see I have all sorts of options. Anopias, Agnosia. So I had all sorts of Anoxia. That's probably another reason I got mixed up, is because there's so many words. You can see all of these are very similar. Anopias, Agnosia, Anoxias, Anopsia. And then, of course, there's the play that I actually made, which was Anosmia. And all of those plays are very similar, so you can see why I would get confused. I'm curious, what is Anopia? Anopsia is a okay. And then Anoxia. And then what was the other one? Agnosia. So a lot of Ossia words. Yeah, so it's kind of sad that I made that phony play. It's a pretty bad phony, but I got it mixed up because there's so many words that are similar that I figured Anasia had to be something, and it wasn't. So you play someone like Carl Johnson, he's going to challenge it every time. So here he plays Diffract. For 102. So I had Baji here. Yeah, it's better play than just playing Jib here. I also had Jibs, which was better than just Jib because it scores 9 more. I'm surprised that both of these players are actually stronger than Jibs, though. I'm not sure if that's actually true or not. It could be. And then, what happens next? He plays Epheboy. Now, I'm curious what the meaning of this word is. Okay, just a young man in ancient Greece. Okay. That definitely rings a bell, at least a word like that. One of the cool things about Carl Johnson is you don't really have to worry about challenging too much because he hardly ever makes a mistake. And he generally doesn't like play phonies on purpose either. Like I think I did play challenge one of his phonies, but it was because he made an outplay out of desperation to try and win the game. And that was like the one game that I won against him. uh, it's not like he never plays phonies, but it seems like he's one of the experts that doesn't play phonies as often, like someone like Nigel Peltier or Jackson Smiley is going to play phonies a lot more often. So I played Fonz here for 59. Pods was even better for 4 more points. Yeah, Fonz is fine. He plays Emu. Played Raved here. I don't think it really matters a whole lot what I do here. I think this is pretty much lost. Plays U-Tile. I'm just trying to get through these. I'm at 21 minutes. I don't know how I've spent so much time on this video already. Just probably a lot of ranting and tangents. So I played Holp here. Gallop is actually better. I agree with that. This is a tricky word because it's unusual spelling of gallop. Okay, so this actually has a completely different meaning. It's just gallop with one L is a dance, I guess. Okay. Do I even have that word? I just want to double check. You'd think I'd know all the 5s. I don't. Yeah, well, I have it with the ED, so I guess that's good enough. Yeah, I played Holp. Trying to make something happen, I guess. I think Gallop would have been better. It's just I didn't really know the word. He plays Pied. Taking out the triple. Smart. And here I played Egad. So I had to play for 30. Kingu. What does that mean? Punishing device. Just want to make sure I've seen this word before. I have. It's actually close to the top. This is not a word I typically see, Kingu. It doesn't seem like a word I've studied recently. Played Egad, which is obviously an inferior play, but I wasn't trying too hard at this point. It's comes down. So if I have a bingo here, it would be nice, but I don't. Cyano. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wish I had oh, I did play it. Good for me. I wish I had played that. No, actually, I did play that, so that's fine. Ariste, of course, was a setup for himself. Okay, so he plays Regna. And I played Warm. And he goes out with Reran. So that's the game. So the final score was 499 to 379. So we scored that correctly. In addition to being a great Scrabble player, having solid word knowledge, he also, um, if you make a mistake on scoring, he'll he'll correct you immediately. Not many people actually do that, even at high levels. So yeah, you can be assured when you place Carl Johnson that the score is going to be correct. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Leaving a comment below also helps the YouTube algorithm. If you leave a comment, I like to reiterate this every time because I know some people out there like to be nasty. Please, if you make a comment, don't be nasty. I do have autism, and for whatever reason, bullies love to bully people specifically with autism. And the bully may not realize that the person they're bullying has autism, but obviously some bullies just don't care whether the person they're bullying has a disability or not. But I feel like I need to reiterate, don't be nasty, because of all the bad experiences I've had in my life with certain people just being nasty. Obviously, it's not most people that are nasty, but just if you want to make a comment, please do. But just don't be nasty. Thanks, guys. See you later.